Here's the Amaran 60D. It's supposed to be 65 watts. I just got it here, have it on this stand, and I'm just gonna test this compared to the Sokani X60 RGB. This is supposed to be 80 watts. I've done reviews of this light before as an RGB in the full Kelvin scale. It does a lot of things for under $200, and the Amaran is under $200 as well. The 60D is only daylight. There's no RGB, there's no bicolor, it's just daylight. And I wanted to use these lights as a portable documentary key light or fill light. So I want to put it in a suitcase. This is something that I would travel with on an airplane. Probably this would be check-in, but I could, as small as this is, carry it on even. It is very light, although the power supply is pretty heavy. And I'll do a comparison of all of the accessories that they come with in the base models. I realize that these lights are used for different purposes since this is RGB and it has the full Kelvin scale. It's a different. You'll use this differently than this, but I wanted to compare the brightness, and if I simulated a key light with different configurations, one with the bare bulb, next I'll use the reflector, and then finally I'll use an umbrella, a very light umbrella that I would take to a shoot like this if I were on an airplane. I'll link my previous reviews of the Sokani X60 RGB so you can see more of this light if you want to see all the capabilities of this. But I'll show more of the Amaran because that's my newest toy here. The styrofoam box that this ships in is also used as the case, but it's very tight inside there, so I'm not going to use it to transport this. I'll have to get another case, probably like a camera case or a lens case to hold all this stuff. And it comes with a few accessories, but the ones that I'm going to take with me are the light itself, which has this attachment here. This is where you put the light stand attachment because it's a 1/4-20 right here. I don't like this design as much, but it's a small price to pay to have a modular light like this. The Sokani has an L bracket here, and you could move it with it had some teeth. So it's a little bit better to maneuver, and it's, I think, a stronger mount than this one right here. But this is more versatile if you bring extra accessories and if you're just traveling with it. There's also a COB protector here that you could just put on when you transport it. The Sokani does not have that. And there's some lens protection here. There's a little piece of glass that protects the lens. The Amaran for the base price comes with NPF. This is a Sony NPF battery adapter that you can shoot this without plugging into the wall, which is nice. You can do the same thing for the Sokani, but you have to buy an accessory it doesn't come in the base kit. Here's the reflector for the Amaran, and it's a very small design. It's kind of too small where I think it's just gonna have a spotlight effect and it's not really gonna do a lot of light output unless I use this to bounce more light, because this does make the light brighter when you have this on. The Sokani's reflector is much bigger, but it's flimsier. I can already see this bending if I'm not nice with it. You can even fit the entire Amaran inside the Sokani. They're both Bowens mount, but the Amaran's Bowens mount is an interesting design. It just has their mounts further out. I think you could still mount it on like a Sokani. Let me see if I can do that. Oh no, you cannot mount this on the Sokani. This diameter is probably just designed for the Amaran. With the Sokani, you get this case right here where everything sort of fits in. The power adapter for the Sokani is small and light, but it doesn't have a long cable. And for the Amaran 60D, so it comes with their wall power here. And I don't know how long this is, but this is long and heavy and quite annoying. But it's good that you don't need extension cables once you're at your location. You can just bring this and you could reach any outlet that's, I don't know, 10 feet away. Whereas this one, you'll need extension cords. But the drawback is this is just long and heavy. This is about 4 feet from this wall. I'll put a color chart up there so you can see some of the colors. And then I'm gonna shoot it using this GH6 with a 10 to 25 Lumix lens. This is the configuration I would take on a portable traveling shoot to shoot a documentary. And I would use this setup. So I'll use this, shoot this wall with a color chart, and test each of these lights. Right now I'm shooting at Cine D picture profile. I'm at ISO 800 because the GH6, when I'm shooting high dynamic range mode, the base ISO is at 800. So my light meter, shooting 24p, I'm metering the center. I'm at f11. This is the bare bulb. There's no reflector at all. There's no reflector. It's just completely bare. Would not shoot like this. But as I get to the edges, I'm at an f8. And that's full power. It's on full power, 100%. Now I'm gonna add on the reflector here. This is heavy. All right, reflector was kind of hard to put on, but I am now pointing right. You can see the hot spot, can you? You can see the hot spot. It just got way brighter, and I don't like that pattern. But let's meter it. Oh my God, I'm at a 32. And then when I get to the edges, I'm at 11, 11, 11, 8. But that center, 32, that reflector just makes it way too bright. Now let's see what happens when I diffuse it. I'm gonna add an umbrella here. This is the official Aputure umbrella. I'm gonna put this umbrella right in front of the lens here, or the reflector, I mean. Put that in there, and let me see if I can mount it, this umbrella. There is a mount for an umbrella. I think I still have the hot spot, but it's much more diffused. Let me meter this. Now I'm back at f11. See what happens if I keep the umbrella on. I'm gonna keep the umbrella on, but I'm gonna take off the reflector. There we go. All right, I just took off the reflector so that it's not going to be as bright, but it's also going to remove that hot spot in the middle. This camera's still at f11, ISO 800. But let's meter this now. Okay, now I'm at an f8. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the Amaran and I'm going to turn on the Sokani. This Sokani, this is at 5600 Kelvin. I'm not going to do the RGB, 5600 Kelvin at 100%. And I'm pointing a bare bulb. There's no reflector directly at that chart. Let's read it here. I'm at an f8. F8, 8. It's a more even spread than the Amaran. So now that I'm at an f8, I'm going to raise my aperture here. So I'm at an f11. So now I'm going to go to an 8 to get proper exposure. Full stop there. All right, now I'm going to put on the reflector. This is the Sokani reflector. And I'm pointing it right at the chart there. Okay, looks like it's gotten brighter. Oh, now I'm at a 16. Okay, so let me stop back down. I was at an f8. Now I'm going down to a 16. So that added 2 stops just with that reflector. That's interesting. I'm gonna put on the diffuser. I'm gonna add the umbrella now. This is the umbrella for the Sokani. Still pointing to that chart. Let's see it. Now I'm at an F8. Wow, it dropped 2 stops. Okay, so here's my setup right here. This is what I was shooting. The Sokani is on right now, and the Amaran. I'll turn on the Amaran just for some effect. Add more ambiance. I'll push it to the side so it can add some light. I really don't like how cumbersome this design is of their stand there. I don't like that, but it seems to work. Sokani is more traditional, and I like how this is just a very simple design, and it's easier to maneuver. The Amaran is going to take a while to figure out because it's so modular. It's not that big of a difference. The Amaran is, even though it's 65 watts and the Sokani is listed as 80 watts of an output, because the Sokani has so much going on inside, its RGB and the full Kelvin scale, I think it diminishes the power of the COB, whereas the Amaran only is daylight. You have 100% of that COB outputting very strong, so it punches well above its weight, especially when you're using the reflector here. It's even more so. And I think you could hot swap reflectors too, so I might even do that. I might just bring, if I do use the Amaran, I might bring an extra reflector like the Sokani reflector, or maybe I'll just buy a Godox reflector as long as it's Bowens mount, and then I'll use that instead, so that maybe it would help with less of a spotlight. I like this umbrella, the Aputure umbrella, pretty good. So my conclusions are, depending on what I'm doing, I just might bring both of these. I haven't noticed that difference of a color, and with the Sokani I could dial in my Kelvin too. So if it's not matching exactly, I know the CRI is pretty high on this, and as well with the Amaran here. But these are really great portable lights. Aputure, Amaran, they have maybe a bigger, not too long of a history. They haven't been around too long, but they seem to be more reliable. Sokani's sort of new, and this model has been ripped off in a lot of other places. But yeah, I think they're very comparable. So the Sokani might be a better deal overall because you can get more and do more with it. But the Amaran might last longer, and this portability form factor and the output is just a little stronger than the Sokani between these two. As I'm playing around with the RGB functionality with the Sokani, I'm just thinking, man, I just should bring both of these lights whenever I'm on a shoot, because this could be my workhorse key light, and this is only at 15% right now. And with this reflector, I have more of a spotlight effect. And this Sokani can just be my wash for my background to add some color. Right now it's on RGB mode. It's at 100%. And I'm just changing the RGB, the colors. And maybe I can play with the spread. I'm going to get rid of the reflector. You know what? I'll switch the reflectors. See what that looks like. Now I just put the Sokani reflector on the Amaran 60D. And then the Sokani here is just going commando without anything, but it's having a wider spread. I have it on blue. I'm changing the colors. Again, let's go green. Now on green. And then this is only at 10%, but it's already doing a lot. Like when I shut this off. Yeah, I'm also noticing there's a fan noise difference. I didn't mention that before, but the Amaran is a louder fan than the Sokani. Sokani, I can hear a little bit, but I could hear more of the fan on the Amaran. And that fan noise, it's going to go off depending on how bright the light is, the output. At 10%, I don't hear it that much, but when I go up, when I was at 100, I could hear the fan churning. That's at 35. And then this is at 100%, and I could barely hear it. Sokani's pretty good with the fan at least so far with, these are fairly new lights for me. Yeah, the back, let me just change some, get some more colors in here. See if I can go to red. Oh, there you go. There's like a purplish blue. Let me turn this down. It takes a little long to do the dial here, but that's fine. These also come with apps that I haven't used yet. The Amaran has an app, the Aputure app, and then Sokani has its own app, so you can dial in with an app if you have your phone. Oh, the possibilities. I like this. I like this combo. For under $400, because this is under $200, this was under $200, the set that I got. And I'll leave links to these lights below, so you can click on it if you want these. So for under $400, you could get a pretty decent portable documentary interview lighting kit that you could take anywhere. You could take it in a backpack. This is amazing. I'm very excited for the potential of what I could do and how portable and how fast I can move with these lights. Love it.